This week, we're talking about some awesome free plugin deals for Black Friday.
So yeah, we're going to get straight into it, and we're going to start with the lovely Arturia. The Analog Lab Play currently going for free. Beautiful, really, really nice. Arturia, we spoke about many times on this show.
And just really quick about the Arturia Analog Play. Free software instrument with a library of 100 essential, hard-hitting, mix-ready synths, keys, basses, pads, and more that, this is their words, but it's true, that'll make you fall in love with music all over again for free. I like the little for free.
For free. Do you want to hear a couple of the ideas?
Yeah, let's check it out.
What speaks to you? I'm gonna start with Brazen Lead.
Juno keys.
Do you know enough for you, Samapa?
That's good. I'm sold. I already downloaded it. I downloaded all of these beforehand.
One more. We know how much J-Bell is a fan of mallets, so I'm just going to play the mallets one as well, because you can't never get enough of mallets. You have to tell me what it's like, because I can't hear it. So
sounds like Lone. The artist Lone. I can hear that a little bit.
I get that. So yeah, Arturia, it's free. If you want to check it out, well, it is free, so there's nothing stopping you downloading it.
This is free in perpetuity.
It's just like their version of Contact Player.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yes. After that, another return from the wonderful Sample Science. We've done a couple on the show. I was
going to say, this is your fault that I found it. Because you sold me on like the sitar or something, and then now I get their emails, and I was like, ooh, virtual handpan. Okay.
Always beautiful. I mean, look at that. Does that go? Yeah, look at that. That is what we're looking at here. There you go. That is lovely. Similar to Eon Lake, I believe that you can never have too many handpans out. Yeah, the Ableton. I've got the Ableton stock one, or the Ableton ones are in there. I've got a couple I just downloaded back in the day, and this is the next one. So thank you for bringing this to the table, some Walker.
Yeah, let's get a little trial of it.
Let's go with this one here.
It sounds, yeah. Lush.
It is lush.
Let me read a little bit about what they've got too. So they say a handpan is a unique and melodic percussion instrument that consists of two convex steel hemispheres joined together to create a resonant UFO-like shape. Virtual handpan is a virtual instrument that recreates the sound of the handpan by using physical modeling and sound design. The idea is to expand the playable range of a standard handpan to as many notes as possible.
Here's the question, right? When it comes to just very quickly, when it comes to things like this, it's a sample, and obviously it's multi-sample and that, but a hit is a hit is a hit. Do you ever find yourself always needing more, because once you've got one handpan sound, you've got that one in infinite? You know what I mean?
Just going like a more must have more. No,
I was hoping that sentence was going to make sense, and then it stopped. That was none the wiser.
Gotta have more handpans non-stop.
I suppose what I'm saying in a very roundabout way, yes, that was a very convoluted sentence. Apologies. I know
what you meant. You just want more and more and more.
Yeah. Well, give it to me.
You got virtual gas.
Yes,
virtual pass, I guess. Handpan acquisition syndrome.
it's only handpans. It's only handpans. It's nothing else. It's
the more handpans, the better, right? You just can't get enough.
So yeah, that's the handpan. Then we move across to mixing and mastering, which is some Warper's ball game. But this does look pretty lush. Let me just pop this up here so we can see. If you have access to native, it's free, native instruments. It is completely free. You have to have native access. You have to sign up, obviously. But this Ozone 11 EQ, mastering plugin for EQ, standalone EQ plugin for Izotope. Creatively control the impact of your mixes with new transient and sustain mode. Intuitively dial in curves and hear exactly how you're affecting audio with the new Delta button. I'm not quite sure what that means, but it looks colorful.
Well, quite cool is it's got mid and side EQ. Which I know will pique Eon Lake's interest, even though it's free. I know.
Okay. Question.
But But I know for Curtis, he tuned out the second he didn't see Handpans. But for everybody else in the world, this is actually pretty cool. And you don't have to use it as a master EQ. You could use it as a normal EQ. But I checked it out. Like I said, I downloaded all of these. It's cool. I'm not super familiar with mid and side EQ and stuff, but this is perfect to get into it because I really want to start learning more about that and diving into it.
If you have an EQ, is an EQ? Or is Izotope, because Izotope is a fairly decent company, is the EQ from Izotope, is it better than the stock one in Ableton, for example, or better than anything else we see? Is it about the ear? Is it about the process of it?
I think it's whatever works for you and then what it offers, right? Like this one can do mid and side, some EQs can't. And then you get the visual spectrum, you can see all that. I mean, there's a console EQ and a tube EQ from Logic that has no visual spectrum or anything like that, but it does add some color and it has a drive knob and stuff like that. So it depends on what they're modeling. It depends on what they're trying to be. I'm not saying you need to go out and buy a gazillion EQs, but they can have slight things. But if you're just trying to do a standard EQ, an EQ is an EQ.
Yeah, the Ableton EQ does have mid-side.
Well, there we go.
So it's useful in the chain if you want to start doing mid-side processing. Yeah, I'd imagine that means that other DAWs will have a similar native.
I think so. Yeah,
same thing.
Next up, what do we have? We're moving across now to down the effects chain,
right?
so to speak.
Not PSP, the Sony handheld.
No, sadly not.
The PSP stepDelay, formerly stepDelay, creative delay plugin designed to provide a wide range of sounds from lush analog tape delays to crazy modulated ping pongs. It's got tape saturation, head cueing emulation, and control. It says versatile controls, so you can make usage of this plugin in a hypnotic experience and a long-lasting pleasure. So yeah.
Ribbed for your pleasure. Exactly.
I was reading that like, wait, this is going somewhere I was not expecting it. But I mean, hey, yeah. But hey,
we'll see.
Anyways, you can never go wrong with delay. I was going to say pedals, but delay plugins. And this one's got a lot of cool stuff added to it. I mean, it's got the tape emulation and all that type of stuff. So it's worth just a free download, seeing what it can do. And if it doesn't work for you, you don't have to use it. But there it is. I'm curious, Jan, like, do you have any PSP plugins?
No, I don't. I kind of like the way that one looks, and I don't think I would be interested in a delay that didn't do, various different types, from the bucket stuff to tape delay to, Echoplex type. If it doesn't have those, then so why do you need it really? But in the same way as you want mid-side on an EQ, if you're going to buy an EQ or have one separate to your DAW. But I like the design. I like what it does. I do already have Echo Boy though, which does all of that stuff. So
that's true.
I don't know. But unfortunately, that wasn't free.
Yeah,
this looks like a very good deal. It's the price you like.
Yeah, and it's got long-lasting pleasures, right? Right, Curtis?
Long-lasting pleasure. Prolong my pleasure, then I'm all for it.
Yeah, prolonging mixing and creative pleasure, I guess, is what it's doing.
Why would you not want to do that? Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, speaking of Echo Boy, though, that brings up the final free plugin that it rounds out nicely. Little Plate from Soundtoys. Now, I bet our patrons were expecting me to go with Valhalla Supermassive, and that's a bonus. It's not included. Just everyone should download Supermassive.
Saying, though, isn't it?
That goes without saying. But this Little Plate is an awesome reverb. Highly recommend checking it out. I think it's normally what, 50 or 79 bucks? 99. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So 99. It's worth that, but it's totally worth getting for free.
Yeah, for sure. Like Soundtoys, you do pay a hefty margin for them, but they are stunning and they are great for what they do. And Little Plate combined with a Valhalla Supermassive, sorry, put those two together, you got a free chain of just absolute awesomeness.
I was going to say, put those together and you just open the singularity and end the world. It's just infinite decay.
Infinite decay.
Yeah. Beautiful. Real quick, I do want to read what they write about Soundtoys Little Plate. Inspired by the original EMT 140 plate reverb, we captured the gorgeous sound and vibe of this studio classic and turned it into a fun and musically inspiring plugin. And they say, and we couldn't resist pushing the limits of reality. Speaking of the singularity, right? So we added a couple of fun twists that let you take Little Plate to spaces the original hardware only dreamed of. Yeah, it's got what is it, infinite decay, or you can get really long. Yeah, really long, and then there's a low cut, which is quite convenient for reverb when you want to cut out that low end. And there's that mod button too, which can I was going to say, which can do some really cool stuff.
Yeah, it sounds great. It really does. I use it a hell of a lot, on some very high settings.
Yeah, if you're not using it on high settings, what's its point, right?
I hover quite near that infinite setting more than I should.
No, not enough.
It's also a good way of chipping your way into the Soundtoys suite by getting, the more plugins you have, and they do offer them either heavily discounted or free sometimes, the more discount you get off the whole lot. So, getting them at a cut rate or free, and you end up getting the whole lot much cheaper.
Lars says the Audionautic crew does not do subtle reverb.
No,
it gets really subtle, very fine-tuned, filtered, nice and thin reverb, so that I can slap it on top of a massive cavernous.
There's a place for subtle reverb, and it's behind or in front of a massive.
Adds a little bit of sheen to your main reverb.